Good morning, everybody that's watching here. I am actually on with the beautiful Laura. So she and I are sort of in a similar team. We've known each other for, I reckon, nearly 2 years, and
Yeah,
we both live locally on the coast. So it's really handy to have somebody who shares the same business, who's so aligned with what I do, and we both live quite nearby because often we work with people across the world. So Laura's a little bit more like family than anything, which is really, really lovely. So welcome, Laura.
thank you. And yes, I just wanted to, like I remember when the cyclone hit last year and we were about to do some, another project together. And yeah, I was freaking out. I was pregnant and Mel came and visited me and calmed me down because like that's a perfect example of you know, of us in real life as well as in business. But yeah.
That's right, the cyclone that actually never hit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there was so much. Yeah. So
There
much
was.
around it. So yes.
So, Laura, we are both mums here on the coast. Now, what does your day to day look like in terms of having the ability to earn from like anywhere in the world?
So yeah, my days right now are great. I get to drop my children off at school, and then I come home, and today we were on the phone together this morning on the way back from the school run, and yeah, just planning out what I need to do. Yesterday was a training day. There was a whole load of ads training. Um and yeah, just working out on doing some figures for someone right now. And then I'm on another podcast after this. So yeah, just doing yeah, working on the business basically, but it um allows me to work around my children, which is a massive thing because previously, recently, um, I was having to drop them at the school bus and, they'd be on the bus for an hour each at the beginning of the day and at the end of the day. All up. So yeah, that's been a massive change to them and being able to go and have that flexibility if they're not well or whatever, that's been massive. So yeah, there's a lot of different things happening. I was actually recently working full time, so I'm really and that's the beauty of it. I was able to choose to do that and do this work around that, and now I've been able to just jump straight back in and continue doing this full time. So yeah, that's a beauty of having that flexibility, getting to choose which way you want to work.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's such a good.
And yeah. And I know for you, it's even I've got two children, but you've got three. So I know for you that's a big thing. And so what's been the biggest change for you in having this business in your life?
Yes, we have three and a cat. And I never got warned about that at the beginning. My mum wasn't ever there to say, do you know? Anyway, the biggest change for me, probably, you know how much I'm into health and wellness. So I'm very much all about what you put in, on, and around your body. And one thing that I found before I stepped into this business, I was actually doing property management for a few months. And the office I worked in was this teeny tiny space with no windows. And the people that I worked with had completely different views to me on everything. Like I am low toxin chemical free. So things like the business that we align with and the products we use, they're all chemical free. Whereas when I was working in that office, someone would get sick and they'd come around with a can of Glen 20. And I'd be like, oh my God. And I'd have to leg it out the office. So for me, I've been able to probably incorporate a lot more of like my breath work. I've just gone back to Pilates again, which I work all around. Like you said, I'm there to drop my little girl off at school and my little boy off at school, and I'm there to pick them up. And I'm here after school when we all get together and talk about how our days are and things like that. And everybody scrambles to get to the beach to catch the surf. Like, I didn't have this before. So for us, it's brought like a level of calm and wellness into what before was probably not that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that's been huge for me as well, being able to get to the gym. Normally I go to the gym after school drop off. I switched it around today because I had more on, but yeah, just being able to do life, at
Yeah.
a really good pace has been beautiful.
So the second question I have then kind of leads on to that. So I've got these written down next to me. What was your experience when you were first introduced to the product? So what I kind of mean by that is what made you trust the products and then integrate them kind of into your lifestyle?
So what I love about this question is that both of us came in for different reasons. So I know for you it was a health. For me, it wasn't initially. For me, it was for the business. So I had been looking for something else. Um, I burnt out a lot in my career. Um, and I was looking for something that could support me financially, and in a more aligned way. And so I saw this opportunity. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know how it worked initially. Um, but the way I was shown through a masterclass like we're doing on Friday really took me on that journey of explaining how it all works. I had a lot of questions that were then answered in a call that I followed up with. And then I did my own due diligence on the business,
Yeah.
and it just really stood up. Like everything I looked into, there's so many scientific papers and all of those things. So for me, I was able to tick both, the logical side of me. Um, and then because of it, I've then actually gone in more to the health side. So
Yeah.
it's actually put me on my own health journey. I thought I was pretty healthy before, but I've gone completely next level since joining 2 years ago. Um, so yeah, for me, it was a different way I came in, but
Yeah.
now very much it's the health side for me as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
understand that.
that's a beautiful thing about what we do. And so what would you say for someone that is curious? Obviously, we're doing this masterclass.
Mm.
If someone's curious about how you can make an income online and work flexibly like we are, what would you say to them?
I would invite them to our masterclass on Friday night, which is basically it is going to break down everything. And it's everything that we kind of saw. So obviously, like you said, you came in because of a different reason to me. So I came in actually because of the products. And then from those products, I actually was introduced to a business. And for me, once I saw the capabilities of that business and what I could gain from it was hard to look at anything else. And I did look at a few other things, to be honest. Once I knew what it was, I did go have a look at a few others. But for me, it just aligned so well because that's what is really important. So if working to something that is actually what you believe in, what you enjoy doing, and that you align with is important in your life, then this is a business that you will succeed in. So I think, again, that's really important. I've actually already forgotten the question that you kind of answered me because my cat wants to get out the door and I'm just like, I haven't got kids home and she's like being a pain in my bum. But
But
yeah,
yeah, you're answering it perfectly considering you've forgotten it.
but we do. So we do have a masterclass, and it is something that if anybody might be watching this in the future and not of today, we actually do offer these masterclasses on a regular basis, and you can get in touch with either of us as well. What I'm going to do at the end of this interview is just drop our social contacts and things like that, because obviously we're both really passionate about our businesses. They are very different, yet they are very same. But I think the biggest thing that we both have is that we have aligned with something that means something to us. So we're no longer
Mm,
doing work just to earn money.
yeah, 100%. And
Yeah.
that's the best thing is that we're both passionate about creating impact in the world.
Oh,
And
100%.
this allows us to help people, to help families. And
Yeah.
that's a beautiful thing that for me, when I understood that piece, that was powerful because, it's not like you're trying to push something on people. It's not that at all. And that's why we just get to chat. And Leroy, who's the other person in the masterclass on Friday, I actually know him through a completely different way. So I met him through a public speaking course. He's a massage therapist, and he actually made accidental sales, just sharing, the products, because he's had the product for years, just as a product, not as a business. So he's made accidental sales just because he's passionately sharing about the health benefits. And I think that is a perfect example of what happens. We're not salespeople. We
No.
just love what the products do for your health, and they actually give you another way of earning money. So yeah,
I
it's
think you've
it's
just
it's definitely
answered.
not pushy sales. And that's what that to be honest, that was my objection. That was what I was concerned about when I first watched the masterclass. And that was my first question. What do I have to do? Do I have to sell? I'm not a salesperson. And we have such a great community and platform that actually does a lot of the work for you. So it's really just about sharing, like you said, what we're passionate about.
Well, I think you've just answered the last question that I was going to ask about what's the biggest shift personally for you rather than financially. And obviously, you know what my biggest shift has been. I do have a son that's neurodivergent, and we had a lot of chaos in our life going back a couple of years ago. We had medications and things like that. I also have a husband that's recovering from PTSD from 20 years as a first responder. And once we brought the products into our life, we started detoxing our systems and things like that. But it also led on to a wellness journey that I had never been introduced to before. So when I talk about like the biggest shifts in all of our lives, the biggest one for me was probably the journey and bringing calm into our life. Because when you have both of those things, when you have mental health and neurodivergence, there is a lot of yelling and screaming and chaos and dysregulation. And I'm really pleased to say that we don't have it as much as what we ever did. It also brought us to now be in a property that's only 100 and so meters from the beach. And for our family, that is our calm. So this is all tying back to that whole being aligned with what you do. It's not that hustle sales culture like what you said. I do come from a background in sales, but I also come from a creative background in interior design. So I'm able to share both of those passions all with this new passion in order, like, this is work. Like us having a conversation today, this is work.
Yeah,
And for me,
yeah, yeah,
it's not.
yeah. And I love that you point that out, because your creativity is so good when it comes to things like this, when we get to work together, and you get to do all the graphics, and you are just amazing at that. So so I'm so grateful that we get to do these things, collaborate, and we all get to work in our own zone of genius. That's the beauty of us all coming together as we choose to. It's not something that we have to do, but it's how we enjoy connecting with people and sharing. So that's a really key part, I think, of this business. And you get to choose how you want to do it. And like we're going to go to the markets, we're going to do all these things because that's the way that we're wanting to do it. We just feel passionately about sharing
That's
and finding new ways to share. So yeah.
Well, that's amazing. Thank you so much, Laura, for having a chat with me. Like I said, I'm actually going to drop a slide at the end of this. If anything we spoke about today, if you just feel like you want to reach out and have a chat conversation with us, even check out our socials and things like that, and you can see what we've talked about actually fully corresponds to what that is all about. So you'll be able to see both of us, Leroy Migley as well. He's in our group for our masterclass on Friday, but we also do have a group of, I think, 7 or 8 of us now that sort of get together and share a lot in the Shift Society, which is a Facebook group that we can also do. So,
Yeah,
yeah. Thank you, Laura. I'll let you get back to
amazing.
your day. I know I've got to
Thank
go
you.
get a food shopping in the middle of the day, and then I've got another Zoom. So yeah,
And it's just like pouring with the rain again. So
and I've got
I
the
might
sun
move
out
back
here.
inside. Yeah. It'll get to you soon.
That's right. That's right. All right. Thank you so much, Laura. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you. See ya. Enjoy the rest of your day.